Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video I thought I would do like what they don't tell you like when you're pregnant and like postpartum and that kind of thing. So just things that personally I've found out myself and from like other mummies and like my friends and things like that. Yeah, so if you're new here to my channel, hi, my name's Jade if you don't know me already. I try to post about 3 videos a week. I post videos on like mummy kind of videos like motherhood, lifestyle, beauty, fashion, all them kind of videos, just like a bit of a mixture of vlogs and stuff as well. I haven't posted a video in a couple of days, as you might have noticed. I'm just finding it quite hard at the minute to post a video and get it up, purely because Harrison is just I don't know, he's going through a phase or something. He had his jabs the other day and I've just not been able to sit down and film because he just needs my attention and he's constantly like crying and stuff, and he's just been really whingy and just like, you know, needs me. So I've just been kind of like, oh, I need to sit and film a video, and then it gets too late, and I kind of rely on natural lighting at the moment. So yeah, so I'm sitting and filming a video today. So yeah, it's going to be a video on things that I wasn't told and that I like figured out for myself. So let's just jump straight into the video. First thing is what I found when I was pregnant, and like even now after I've had the baby, more so after I've had the baby, after I've had Harrison. I found that a lot of people, a lot of mums, now I don't really like to use the term shade, but it's basically what it is. People will judge you on things you do with your baby. For instance, the way you feed your baby, whether it's breast or bottle. I found that a lot of controversy at the moment in the on social media is based on that. Now I breastfed Harrison for 8 weeks and now he's formula fed, so I know personally like from both, and I felt like when I was going out, even just when I was breastfeeding Harrison, I felt like I was being judged on breastfeeding him. Like I felt awkward like getting my boob out and stuff in public and things like that. And even then when I moved on to bottle feeding him, I again felt really awkward, you know, just getting a bottle out of my bag and, you know, making formula feeding him, and you know, I felt like I was constantly being glared at and being judged for bottle feeding my child, which again, there's nothing wrong with either. Whether you breastfeed, bottle feed, formula feed, it doesn't matter, as long as you feed your baby, you know, fed is best, and don't let anyone tell you any different. You know, don't let anyone give you any negative vibes on like, oh, you should do this, you shouldn't be doing that. Don't listen. Do what you want to do with your baby. And also as well, like there's this whole palaver about weaning and things. Like people just give you their opinions and judge you on if you're weaning your baby before 6 months and all that jazz. Again, like seriously, like I just feel like every mom just wants to put their opinion on everything, and you know, like it's up to you. Like it's up to you as a mum what you do with your child, how they're fed, when you wean them, that kind of thing. It's basically up to you and it's no one else's opinion. And I found that when I was pregnant as well, and it's not just by like mums, it's by people. I got a lot of like but like people would comment on how big you are and things like that. And I know that's probably not like I guess shading as you would say is the term, just purely that's what happens when you're pregnant. People comment on the size of how big you are. Oh, is there 3 babies in there? No, there's only 1. Oh, you're having twins? No, again, I'm having 1 baby. Oh, you're really big. Well, yeah, I'm carrying a baby, and it's not just baby in there, it's water, placenta, you know. I'm carrying a lot inside my belly. Of course it's going to be big, like seriously. But yeah, just ignore the comments, just rise above it. I have found that, you know, becoming a mum, you will get a thicker skin and you will just rise above those comments. Any kind of comment that's made to you, you will just dust it off and forget about it, because I do. I just don't care anymore. So second thing is, I think it's the same with when you've had a C-section or like a natural birth, but I only know from my personal experience, because I've only had a C-section. So I found going to the toilet very difficult after having a C-section, and I know that a few of my friends said it's the same after having a baby vaginally. It's you know, quite painful passing your bowels and having your first wee and things like that after you had a baby. So for me, my experience after I had my C-section, obviously I had a catheter in, so they had to take that out, and doing your first wee after having a catheter out is really painful. And obviously because you've been numb from like the waist down, I couldn't feel anything, so it was very hard to wee. So I couldn't like use my muscles and things down there, because obviously everything's been numb, so it was very hard for me to like have a wee and stuff, and it was really painful. And passing your bowels for the first time as well was really painful. Like, it was just, I couldn't do it for ages. I tried, I sat there and I cried my eyes out, and don't worry, you will eventually go, and it'll be a huge relief. But yeah, it is quite painful, and no one told me that. No one told me anything about that. Oh, you know, after you've had a baby and stuff like that. So the next thing is cracked nipples, like when you're breastfeeding things, sore boobs, like really cracked nipples and sore boobs. Like, they will be really painful, especially if you're breastfeeding. It's so painful. And obviously breastfeeding is quite hard, and obviously everything comes with like sore boobs, cracked nipples, bleeding. They can bleed as well. I never experienced any like kind of bleeding, but they were really painful and sore, and I was constantly applying nipple cream, which helped massively. So I definitely recommend keep applying nipple cream as and when you need it. The baby can still feed off your boob. It won't like affect them or anything, so just keep applying it as much as you need. And yeah, I would definitely recommend lots of nipple cream. But yeah, no one told me how severe that your nipples would get. I just assumed, oh, they'll just be a bit sore, but no, they can be really painful. And sometimes when I was feeding Harrison, I'd actually be crying because it's that painful, and I didn't want to feed him because it was so sore. But again, I persevered with the breastfeeding because I really enjoyed it, despite it being sore. It does pass after like first couple of weeks, and it does get better. And again, another thing I wasn't told, like, your milk just basically squirts out. So like some days I'd wake up and like take my bra off or go in the shower, and like your boobs would just squirt just everywhere, like an actual like milk squirting machine just sprays everywhere. And like sometimes Harrison would have like milk all over his face, which was quite funny. So the next thing, baby blues. Now obviously every woman gets told about this. I think like your health visitor, when they come round to speak to you, even your midwife will probably discuss with you baby blues, but no one really actually spoke to me in depth about it. Like, I just thought, oh yeah, I'll probably cry for a few days, it's nothing, it's just baby blues. But I actually cried for longer than 2 weeks. Like, I was so emotional, and I actually thought, oh, you know, what if I've actually got a bit of postnatal depression? But I didn't. I just had baby blues, and it can go longer. It can go on for longer than 2 weeks. But if you're ever worried, then just speak to your midwife or your health visitor. They can just help you out. But I was so emotional, especially in the first few weeks, and it will be hard. Don't, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You just had a baby. You're going to be emotional. It is a long process and a journey to adjust to motherhood and all that kind of thing. And all the sleepless nights and all that stuff. So it is like really emotionally hard and adjusting to everything and being a mum. So I was like, especially on the second day after I had Harrison, I'd not slept for probably 6 days. I'd not had much sleep because I'd been in hospital for a few days before I ended up having Harrison, and I just was so tired, so emotionally drained, and especially as well because I was in a lot of pain from a C-section. I couldn't sit up to feed my own baby, I couldn't get out of bed, so I was quite lucky that James stayed in the hospital and I could rely on him to help me and stuff. But I was just so emotionally drained, and I was just crying. I just sobbed for ages, especially like the second day. I just sobbed for ages. And then just like another time when I was just crying for ages was when James went back to work after 2 weeks. I just cried. I was just like, how am I going to do this on my own? Like, oh my God. And when he cried and I couldn't feed him, I was just crying my eyes out. Oh, it was just like, it was just so emotional. I would just look at him sometimes and cry. I'd cry over anything. And you know, baby blues are real. You know, every woman probably will experience them after they've had the baby, but just know that it does, like, it will stop, and you know, it doesn't last forever. But if you're ever worried that it maybe is lasting a bit longer than it should, then just, as I say, speak to your health visitor or speak to your midwife, and you know, they can help you, and don't be ashamed or anything like that, because every woman goes through it. So after pains, I was never really told about after pains after you've had your baby, and I just thought, oh, I won't get them because I've had a C-section, I've not had a vaginal birth, which is not true. Everyone gets them whether you've had a vaginal birth or a C-section. So it's just kind of like everything going back down and everything contracting back down, and like your afterbirth pains, your after contractions, and they are just as the same as having contractions, and they are quite painful, but they don't last long. It's like every, you know, like a couple of days or whatever, just where everything's like going back down, and your belly's going back down and go back to normal. So next thing is, this is only for like, mainly for people who've had a C-section. I wasn't told, oh, your belly will be numb. I was told, oh, your stomach will be numb for a few weeks, but you should be fine. Which is kind of not true, because I am 5 months postpartum, and I still, like, my scar around my scar area, my stomach is still numb. Like, I touch it now and I can't feel a thing. I don't know how long it's supposed to be like that, or when I'll ever feel it again. I don't know if I'll ever have any sensations down there, but yeah, I was never told about that, about having numbness for a long time. It's just weird. It feels weird, like I can't even feel anything there. But yeah, another thing, so like jelly belly, so like after you had a baby, obviously your skin has been stretched, so it's going to be saggy, it's going to be like jelly, but I wouldn't worry, even though I'm still conscious of my stomach now, and I'm just like, oh, my belly's really saggy and it's just really squishy and stuff like that, especially in the first few weeks, and because like I was laughing a lot, like James trying to make me laugh, and because I was in pain from a C-section, it really hurt, and like I would make a joke like, oh, my belly's really saggy, it looks like Jigglypuff. So like I would be laughing, and I'm in pain from a C-section, laughing like, oh, it really hurts, but like my belly would just jiggle, and I found it really funny. But it's not so much that jiggly now, but it's still kind of squishy, and it's still like, you know, because your skin's been stretched, so it's going to take a while for it to go back down to what it used to be. And I think we probably always have that little bit of like saggy bit, but I used to think, like in the beginning I was like, oh, my body's like ruined, I'm never going to be the same, blah blah blah, I look awful. Some days I still feel like that, I feel like, oh, my belly, it looks really awful, but do you know what, at the end of the day, you have just given birth to a beautiful baby. Don't be so hard on yourself, because you know, every mum out there looks the same and is going through the same kind of thing. And you know what, I absolutely love my belly now. I don't care that it's full of stretch marks and like saggy and things like that. But yeah, just embrace it. Just embrace it, guys, because it's never going to go away. Oh, it might do, but I'm not one for exercising, so yeah. I'm gonna have to try and be quick because the lighting is going really fast. It's going dark in here. I don't know if you can still see me, but yeah. Another thing they don't tell you after you've had a baby is that you will have the biggest, heaviest period you've ever had in your life. Well, that was the case for me. Like, my first period was so painful, so heavy. I just felt like everything was just gushing out of me. Now, I don't know if that's too TMI, but I'm just saying it how it is. Yeah, everything was just like flooding out of me. I was constantly changing the pad like every 10 minutes, maybe every, I don't know, every hour or something, but legit it was just, I had to change my pad several times, and I was going through like a whole packet of pads, no joke. It was just awful, and it's kind of like all the bleeding after you've had a baby, so like you bleed for a long time. I bled for, I don't know, 10 weeks after I had Harrison. Yeah, again, I wasn't told that. I wasn't told I was going to bleed for so many weeks. Oh, it will stop after like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever. But I bled for like 10 weeks straight, and it was just not nice. And using pads all the time is just really uncomfortable. So yeah, I wasn't told that. Another thing I wasn't really told, I only found out from like my friends and things, postpartum hair loss. So you will lose your hair. I'm going bald. I've got like patches, I don't know if you can see, but like patches here of where like my hair is falling out and it's like growing back. I try not to wear my hair up, but my hair was a mess, so that's why it's in a messy bun today. But normally I'm trying to wear my hair down so that you can't see the bald patches. But yeah, postpartum hair loss is a thing. The last thing on my list is you'll be really hot all the time after you've had a baby, and I still get it now. I still get like postpartum sweats or whatever you want to call it, but oh my god, I'm so hot and sweaty all the time. I was more so in the first few weeks after having Harrison, like constantly hot and constantly sweaty, and it's disgusting, especially in the night. Like night sweats, they're a thing, and I still get them now 5 months down the line. But no one told me about that. No one said, oh, you're going to be hot and sweaty for the rest of your life. It's really gross and disgusting and not nice. But yeah, there are the things that I found that no one tells you about. I'm sure I had more, but I can't think of them. So if you can think of any that I've not said, then just write them in the comments. I would love to know things that you think that no one tells you about when you've had a baby, when you're pregnant, stuff like that. I'd love to know. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you on my channel in following my journey in motherhood and everything like that, and going through all the ups and downs of motherhood life. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!